and lamb seem like a very unusual pairing, but I assure you it works nicely. This is a Middle Eastern inspired dish, and I'm also going to add some pomegranate and serve the lamb with some hummus. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm just going to heat a pan and add some extra virgin olive oil. And then I'm using beautiful lamb loins, so just take them out of the pack. The reason I like these lamb loins is because they're so tender and lean. Now I'll just season this with a pinch of salt on both sides and some pepper, generous amount of pepper. Now because these are so small, they don't need too long in the pan. I'm going to flash fry them for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. We can prepare everything else for the sauce though. So half an onion that I'll finely slice. And we can brew our coffee for the sauce. Now I need 30 millilitres of coffee. So I want 1 espresso. We'll just pop that in. And when you see the coffee extracting, you'll see a gorgeous crema on top. That's where all the beautiful nutty flavour is. Also, the coffee is going to impart an earthy flavour and a smoky flavour, which again goes nicely with lamb. You know, you'd usually associate coffee with a tiramisu or other desserts, but I tell you what, coffee works so nicely in savoury dishes. I've even used it in a pasta dish once and it works a treat. All right, this pan is smoking, so let's flash fry our gorgeous lamb loins. Now, like I said, this is going to take around 2 to 3 minutes on each side. In the meantime, I can preheat another pan just on a low heat. I'll be cooking my spinach there at the very last minute. Once this lamb is cooked, I'm going to take it out and then I'm going to caramelise these onions. Now I'm going to deglaze this with some pomegranate molasses. This is pretty much reduced pomegranate juice. It's got a really sweet, tangy flavour to it. It's used a lot in Middle Eastern cooking. I love it and it's a great condiment to have. Now it goes sticky quite fast, so we need to add some stock. So about 3/4 cup of chicken stock. And then just give that a swirl, and now we allow this to reduce. Now I love the addition of some rosemary, so we'll just pick that straight into the sauce. And we'll give that a swirl. And I want to leave the coffee to the last minute because it's already been roasted and brewed. If you add it now, what will happen is you'll get a burnt taste. We don't want that. We want the nutty aroma coming from the coffee. So once that's reduced and you're happy with the consistency, that's when we'll add the coffee. Now for the spinach, so I've just been heating that up, we'll add some extra virgin olive oil and then a really generous handful of baby spinach leaves. Now this looks like quite a lot of spinach, but after it wilts down, it cooks and you'll just get a small handful of it. So just give that a toss. I'll also season it with some salt. And I'm serving this with some homemade hummus. I do want to heat it up, so I'll just place this in a saucepan. So we'll just mix that. And we'll toss our spinach. See how that cooks down? That is absolutely perfect. All right, we'll turn that off and let's finish this sauce. So some cold butter. This butter is going to thicken it up. So 2 spoonfuls, and then just with a whisk that in. You'll see that this sauce transforms and becomes super glossy. It also mellows down the bold flavour of that pomegranate molasses. Okay, now that that's thickened, we'll add our coffee shot. And then give that one final stir and we can turn that off. Now let's plate up. See, I told you this is a really quick recipe to put together. So our gorgeous little loins, they've been resting, they're still nice and warm. We'll take them out of the plate and see all these juices, don't waste them. There's flavour there. Add them to the pan and then let's start slicing the loins. Look how perfect and pink it is. That's exactly how you should serve it. You can see that there's no juices on the board. That's because we've allowed it to rest. And I'm going to serve this in medallions that are about 3 to 4 centimetres thick. This is so tender. Perfect. And now to serve this, I like a nice generous amount of this warmed up hummus just a dollop into a shallow bowl. We'll just spread that around and make a little nest. And now for the spinach, we'll add that in the centre, and our lamb can go on top, just showing off how perfectly cooked that is. And then I was lucky enough to get a fresh pomegranate. These have those gorgeous little seeds in the centre. It's sweet. Look how beautiful it is, those little jewels in the centre. Now I'm just going to tap a few of these into the sauce, just with the back of my knife, very carefully. And look at that pop of colour. I do this at the last minute so they're still very vibrant when they go on the plate. Some of the juice can go into. And now we can pour this coffee and pomegranate sauce over the top. There you go, that's not your average lamb dish, but it only took 15 minutes to do. It's a quick one with big and bold flavours. I'll tell you what, lamb with coffee, it works, I promise.